They tell you the city is where dreams come true. They don't tell you that the city only listens to people who already have a voice. This is the story of Kemi, Zainab, and Ruth. Three girls from three different backgrounds, but one shared belief that education was the key and graduation was the door. On the day they finished school, the city skyline looked closer than ever. Tall buildings, fast cars, bright lights. It felt like the future was waiting for them with open arms. What they didn't know was that the city doesn't open its arms, it opens its mouth. 6 months after graduation, the city had stopped smiling. Kemi had a degree in business and administration. Sharp mind, quiet confidence. She believed patience would reward her. Zainab studied mass communication. Bold, talkative, always dressed well. Even when she had nothing, she believed networking was everything. Ruth was the soft one. Education, gentle voice, deep faith. She believed God would make a way. Every morning they left their cramped one-room apartment dressed like professionals, and every evening they returned with the same thing: rejection. Send your CV, we will get back to you. You don't have experience. Bees didn't care about experience. Hunger didn't wait for callbacks. Soon they stopped calling home. Explaining failure was harder than enduring it. The idea didn't come suddenly. It came slowly, quietly, like shame. It came the night their electricity was cut off. They sat on the floor in darkness, counting the last money they had. It wasn't enough for rent. It wasn't enough for food. Ruth suggested learning a skill. Hairdressing, makeup, something small, she said. Kemi nodded but stayed silent. Zainab laughed, not because it was funny, but because she was tired. Do you know how long that will take? She asked. Do you know how long we have already waited? Then she said the sentence that changed everything. I know girls making in one night what graduates don't make in a month. Silence followed. Nobody agreed. Nobody refused. But the seed has been planted. The first time was supposed to be temporary, just enough to pay rent, just enough to breathe again. They didn't call it prostitution. They call it helping a friend at a lodge. New clothes appeared. Makeup covered fear. Perfume hid desperation. The first night, money exchanged hands easily, too easily. Kemi felt guilty but relieved. Zainab felt powerful. Ruth cried quietly in the bedroom afterward. And when rent was paid the next day, the city smiled again. That smile was addictive. Weeks turned into months. They stopped applying for jobs. They stopped checking emails. The city night became their office. Zainab thrived. Men listened when she spoke. Money followed her everywhere. Kemi learned how to separate emotion from action. This is business, she told herself. Ruth changed the most. She prayed less, smiled less, drank more. They told themselves they were in control. They told themselves they would quit soon. But the city doesn't reward people who hesitate. It rewards people who go deeper. Then things changed. Younger girls survived. Prettier, desperate, cheaper. Clients became rougher. Promises became lies. Kemi started using peace to stay awake. Zainab started dating a man who liked control more than affection. Ruth started talking about living. Let's stop, she begged one night. We are losing ourselves. But stopping meant starting over, and starting over felt scarier than continuing. That was when the invitation came, a private party outside the city, big money, too big to refuse. The car was black, the windows were dark. At first they laughed, then the road became quiet. No music, no jokes. Ruth noticed they had passed the city lights. Her heart began to race. She reached out for Kemi's hand. The driver didn't answer when they asked questions. Fear arrived, late but heavy. They were found days later, not as graduates, not as dreamers, not as daughters, just names in a police report. The city didn't pause. Traffic moved, music played, another night began. Somewhere else, 3 other girls were celebrating graduation. The city didn't kill them overnight. It starved them first, then tempted them, then consumed them. Fast money is loud, patience is quiet, and in a city that only listens to noise, quiet dreams often die unheard. If you are watching this and standing at a crossroads, remember this: no situation is permanent, but some choices are. If this story moved you, subscribe to this channel for more stories about life, choices and consequences. Share this video with someone who needs to hear it, and drop a comment if you believe slow growth is better than fast destruction. The city will always be there. Make sure you are too. Thank you for listening.